All right, so welcome to a new video. Um, Now, in my last video, I read about I read this PDF. This video is going to be a bit different. It's going to be inspired by the last series I was doing. So I want to make a few things to kind of position myself better for this AI explosion we're going to have. And there's a number of things I want to do. The first thing I want to do is invest in the stock market, but that's going to be a bit harder. I'm not sure exactly how to go about that. So one thing I can do, believe it or not, that would be easier for me to do to to position myself to benefit from this. And I don't know, but kind of shape my career a little bit. My CCNA is about to expire, so I have to either renew it or I have to work towards renewing it anyways. I don't have to, but you can see I made this new series after reading Situational Awareness. I decided that it's critical to position myself to be sought after inside the coming multi-trillion-dollar race to superintelligence. And yeah, it means data centers. That's going to be a critical part of it. There's going to be no ambiguity over the next years. Don't be caught by surprise. If you're working in data centers, you're going to be part of a multi-trillion-dollar industry. So my CCNA is expiring next year, and I'll need to renew anyway. So I figure the best path forward for me to retaining my certification is to learn the CCNP data center by passing the following two exams. So now what we can do is, one thing that's really cool that I demoed in this video is you can check out books from the library. You can check out, so I checked out Ultra Learning from the library. I believe. I checked out the data center virtualization on vSphere book from the library for VMware. That would be a good place to go for sure. That's not going anywhere. And then I checked out a book besides that from the library, I believe too. Did I? No, I didn't. These are the only two books I checked out. CCNA and CCIE Data Center Core, I checked out. I just purchased it from Amazon. So this is where we're going to start. Before we start there, though, let's take a quick look at this book, Ultra Learning by Scott Young. Great online person. He grew up in a family of teachers, and when I was younger, I did not get into the college that I had intended to, and I just felt like a reject. And there's a whole series of authors back then that appealed to that kind of person. So Scott Young was one of those. He basically taught people how, if you didn't get into Harvard or MIT, just all the curriculums are out there online, there's not like a lockdown in security for like what these kids are actually studying and learning. So you can take the MIT challenge, and you can just buy all the books and materials yourself, and there you go. It's the same textbooks that the kids who did get in will be using. It's not like you're just not allowed to study the subject material anymore because you didn't get into the college that you wanted to. So just buy it all yourself, go through it yourself, and then do some of the same sorts of things that they'll be doing there, testing, to make sure that you're and you're not even teaching yourself, to be honest. You're learning from the textbooks. So the kids that did get in, they have access to professors, so that's kind of an advantage that you won't have. But an advantage that you do have is you can condense everything down that you would learn over 4 years into 12 months. You're not going to have summers off. You're not going to have you can be more ambitious with your deadlines. So you actually should be able to learn everything a bit faster by being able to kind of up the pace on your own. So really good author. I really like Scott Young. Funny enough, Ryan Holiday, which is another person online that is really kind of blown up lately. He was one of these people that I followed like way back in like the year 2000, because he was writing towards this audience as well. He himself didn't get into the college that he intended, and was kind of feeling like I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I'm just not, I'm just not the kind of person that would be considered an intellectual, like fundamentally. And he had a lot of really good writing about those kind, feeling that way, and he came to the same conclusion as Scott Young. It's like they're not telling you when they reject you that you're not allowed. They're not putting you in a jail that says you can no longer access the textbooks that we're learning. We live in the internet age. Like maybe in the past, that might have been the case. You just don't have access to the same books and resources, and now you don't have access to the professors, which will definitely matter. But we have the internet. The internet has these books. The internet has the ability to get these books. The internet has people you can reach out to for help. So it's just this new mentality of you can be an intellectual. All you need to do is read. You can accomplish your goals, even though people are standing in your way and rejecting you from doing so. So you can have a goal. If your goal is to get into MIT, for why? Forget about that goal. That's a proxy goal to having a good career, to being considered an intellectual. You can accomplish those goals in other ways. If you get into MIT, great, congratulations for you. You definitely have an advantage over someone who didn't, because you have access to the other students and the professor. But if you didn't, game on. We're in the internet information age, so game on. Buy all the textbooks, follow Scott Young, follow Ryan Holiday, and be an intellectual. It's up to you. Learning by yourself is legit nowadays. All right, so basically what I wanted to review quick is the principles of ultra learning by Scott Young. So the first principle, and we can look at the contents to see these more clearly, would be meta learning. So the first thing I want to do is draw a map. Then it would be to focus. Then it would be directness, go straight ahead. Principle number 4 would be to drill, attack your weakest point. Principle number 5 would be revival, to test to learn. Number 6, feedback, don't dodge the punches. Number 7, retention, don't fill a leaky bucket. I feel like this I have a lot of problems with. Principle 8, intuition, dig deep before building up. And then principle 9, there are 9 principles. So experimentation, explore outside your comfort zone. So I've read this before, but this is the way I want to go for trying to get this cert. And remember, this is not a trivial thing I'm doing to get this cert. My entire 2-year degree, one of the things you could do as like a capstone is get the CCNA. So it's like, this is not a small thing I'm doing. Okay, so let's start with the principle 1, the meta learning. So drawing a map. And this is kind of a story-based writer, which sells a lot of books, but it can be annoying to know exactly what to do. Okay, so we want to learn about the how. So now that you have some idea of what meta learning is, and it's important to learn faster, how can you apply this to get an edge in your own learning efforts? There are 2 main ways, over the short term and over the long term. Over the short term, you can do research to focus on improving your meta learning before and during a project. Ultra learning, owning to its intensity and self-directed nature, has the opportunity for a lot higher variance than normal schooling efforts do. A good ultra learning project. Yeah. So it's kind of unrelated. Yeah. So this is so there are different kinds of so the why the so there are different kinds of reasons you would learn. Practically speaking, the two main broad motivations are instrumental and intrinsic. So instrumental learning projects are those you're facing with the purpose of achieving a different non-learning result. Yeah, that would be mine. To be valuable to this multi-trillion-dollar space in technology. But then there's also intrinsic projects, those you're pushing for their own stake. That doesn't really describe this series as much. That really describes more my other series where I'm reading situational awareness. I'm doing that just because I want to be prepared for what's coming down the pipe in AI advancement. So this is definitely more of a instrumental learning project here, the CCNP. So if you're pursuing a project mostly for instrumental reasons, which is what I'm doing here, it's often a good idea to do an additional step of research, determining whether learning the skill or topic in question will actually help you achieve your goal. That's a good point. So he's often heard stories of people unhappy with their career progress. So let's just do something quick here, and let's type in data center, or let's do CCNP data center. And we'll do a quick job search on LinkedIn for it. Now remember, this is preparing for the future, so it might be that it's not quite as lucrative now, but it will be in the future, and that's in fact what the author is saying. So let's go on a remote work job site because my main goal is to work remote. So we're going to go to job hunting. We're going to go remote only job boards, and we're going to open all of them in a new tab group. Okay, so these are job boards only designed for finding remote jobs. So we work remotely. Let's see if I can search for CCNP. Nope, so that doesn't work. Let's see. Here's data engineering jobs, infosec jobs, built-in levels. So let's type CCNP. How about data center engineer? Okay, and now it's frozen, so I can't type anything. Okay, and this one's not particularly a good one either, in my opinion. We just want to search and see how many results we get based on the keywords we're searching for. So we're going to search, now this is European time zones, so that's not necessarily the best either. So we're going to search for find remote jobs, and now this one looks like a pretty good one. So we can search for CCNP here, and now we can see the results. So the search results are there are no listing. Let's try searching for CCNA. Same thing, no results. So let's try searching for a data center. Okay, so now we get some pretty good results, but we can notice, CCNA, CCNP didn't get any hits at all here. So what we're getting hits on are developer and IT. That's what seems to, but what does it mean to be a developer? What does it mean to work in IT? I think CCNP is probably what that means. So. We'll type in service provider. So there are actually now that we're getting false positives here. So this isn't a very good one either. So let's go to Jobspresso. We're going to type in location remote. We're going to type in CCNP. Okay, and while that's loading, we'll look at the last one. No results for that either. So kind of a sad, sorry state of affairs here. But I'm not sure if I'm not sure if what I'm searching for, if I'm searching for the right keywords here. So yeah, we've got some AI tool. We'll try searching for European remote jobs. Okay, so now we do have a hit here for CCNP. So, but it's just a plus. So really, what they want is prior experience. That's the most important thing. Yeah. So I found one job where the CCNP would be good. Yeah. So kind of a problem there, but well, that's too bad. Anyways, the goal really isn't as much to, the goal is to know about data centers and to be valuable in this multi-trillion-dollar space, not necessarily to target any specific job postings. So, I'm just betting on the data center space growing more than other spaces that are in the current purview of my career. All right. Okay, so now we can see. There we go. Now we can see there are more than 1,000 for data center. So let's do it for enterprise. Only 13. Let's do it for service provider. It's not bad. The service provider space really isn't bad. But it's less than the data center now. And then the bet that I'll be making is that in a few years, it's not going to grow nearly at the same rate. And by 2027, especially, it'll be dwarfed by the results for data center. So there's other tracks we could go on. So let's go to career technical development, and we'll go to S-tier plan, and just to land at this page. Then we'll go to Cisco certification exams, and we'll go to the different tracks. Which hopefully would be easy to see, but it seems not to be. So let's click all exams, and if we don't see it there, then that's problematic. So we can filter. Okay, here we go. So we can filter it out. We can see, so we've got enterprise. We searched for that. Collaboration. Let's see what we get for that. And collaboration, from what I understand, is like setting up in office gear. So, collaboration's pretty good. But collaboration could have a lot of false positives. DevNet's another one we could choose. So DevNet had no hits. CyberOps is one. We'll try that. CyberOps, a lot of hits. Yeah, so a lot of hits for sure. Yeah, so then we got data center, we got design, we got security. Design's got good hits. Security, yeah. So they're all pretty good hits. The thing is, I'm kind of betting that given the advancements in AI, out of all these other ones, the the one that's really going to explode is the data center one, or at least the other ones will be more relevant to the data center space. So, all right, so that is that. So it's a good idea to do an additional step of research, determining whether the skill or topic in question will actually help you achieve the goal. My goal is to be more of an expert in the data center space than I am now, and it will definitely help me achieve that goal. Okay, so the expert interview method. So we can talk to people who have already achieved what I want to achieve. We're reading situational awareness, so definitely tapped into that. Now the caveat though is I can't talk to somebody who's already achieved what I want to achieve, because that multi-trillion-dollar industry of AI hasn't happened yet, but I have reason to believe that it will. Okay, so there we go. So he's saying to do that. I can't really do that. So once you've gotten a handle on why you're learning, start to look at the knowledge is structured. So we'll write with 3 columns: concepts, facts, and procedures, and then brainstorm all the things you'll need to learn. So it doesn't matter if the list is perfectly complete or accurate at this stage. You can always revise it later. So the goal here is to get a rough first pass. Once you start learning, you can adjust the list if you discover that your categories aren't right. So let's do that. Let's start there. So we're going to go to Google Drive. We're going to make a new folder. And rather than uploading one, we'll create one new. There we go. And it'll be called CCNP Data Center. So we'll create that. Okay, and now go into this folder and create a new Google Sheets document. Okay, and then the Google Sheets document will be a called subject structure. Okay, and then we'll use the, and it'd be nice if I could open a new instance of this. It looks like I can't, so let's add a bookmark. There we go, and then we're going to do concepts, facts, and procedures. Okay, facts, procedures. Looks good. Okay, and then the concepts in the first column. Write down anything that needs to be understood. Concepts are ideas that you need to understand in flexible ways. Okay, and we'll just do it really rough. So honestly, I don't even have good answers for this. Okay, anything that needs to be memorized. Procedures. Okay. Well, okay. So let's switch over and use the official cert guide for this. Okay. So we're just going to take the let's look at the copyright page to see if so no part of this book may be reproduced or transmitted in any form. Oh. I mean, I guess this is a brief inclusion of quotations in a review. I think this qualifies as that, hopefully. So yeah. Okay, well that could be a problem. Oh man, and it doesn't guarantee. I mean that's what this video is the inclusion of brief quotations in a review. So we're reviewing this book and giving some quotations. So let's quote so the contents. All right, so in our spreadsheet we're going to have concepts, facts, and procedures. So the first part is networking. The second part is implementing switching protocols. Okay, so yeah, let's start there. Oh, so we'll go with the chapter heading. So implementing routing. So it'll be routing. Then it will be switching. Okay. Okay, and then it will be overlay protocols will be the next. We'll call it overlay. And then the next one will be ACI. Okay. And then the next one will be cloud. All right. Okay. Monitoring will be the next, management and monitoring. But let's just say monitoring. Okay. And then fiber channel. And then FCOE. NFS and NAS. And since I'm doing two, I'll do management and monitoring. Okay, and we can expand this. Okay, software management and monitoring. Do that as well. And then the other one, which was chapter 7, was different. Or it was chapter 6. Yeah, so that's network management and monitoring, and then we'll have software as well. So I'll change that to network. Okay, chapter 12. Cisco Unified Computing. Unified Computing we'll have. unified computing systems. Unified computing monitoring. All right. Unified computing management. Oh. Cisco Hyperflex. And automation and scripting tools. Yeah, and this is the niche I want to fall in. The sub-exam I'm going to pick is the automation one. Automation and orchestration. All right. Network security. Compute security. Storage security. Wow, it's starting to look like a multi-month project for sure, if not over half a month, if not a full year. I mean, this is like kind of what they require nowadays. It's like, this is a CCIE level exam, so they require you to pass that in order to get your CCNP. So they're asking a lot more out of CCNPs, I think. Okay, and then that's the final preparation. So, so I believe what I did now was I definitely I think it's pretty undisputable that what I just did here um, was including brief quotations from that section in a review of the book. So I finished doing that. I kind of don't want to get into trouble with this. So reading the whole book, word for word, I think it's harder to argue to make the case that what I'd be doing there was a inclusion of brief quotations in a review. What I might want to do is just do check-in videos and do a lot of my study off camera. I'd be able to, I think, be a bit more efficient that way too, because reading out loud is hard. So I actually, believe it or not, am capable of reading in my head rather than out loud. So I'd be able to, my ability to read, I think I'd be able to read a lot faster if I did that, which would be a good thing, because I've got a lot of reading to do. As we can see, there are 19 different concepts that I need to learn. So, but the cool thing is now that we've got a spreadsheet, so in Google Sheets, is there a way that I can make the title cells of the columns not contribute to, not increment the numbers, so that I can more easily tell like how many values I have in the table and not have the titles count towards that number? Oh, yes, I can.
Yes, you can make the title styles of a column to not contribute to the count of values in Google Sheets by using functions that exclude the header row.
Okay.
Here are a few methods to achieve this. Method 1. Using counter with range. If you know the range of your data, you can specify the range excluding the header row. For example, if your data is in column A and the header is in cell A1, and the data runs down to cell A10, you can use method 2. Using countify if you have a condition that applies to your data and add the headers, you can use countif.
All right, so I could use a formula to count that, but yeah. Anyway, that looks good for now. So that's the facts and procedures using select quotations as a part of a review of this book. And then this book, I feel like the author of this book would be a lot like he would like that I'm reading this out loud. So let's see here. So let's see here. Using this analysis to draw your map. Okay, so now we need to learn facts to memorize and concepts to understand. A new vocabulary. Yeah. Requires practice. So we'll have to practice. We'll have to have a practice environment. I think I've got some nexuses. Using this analysis, so to underline. Okay, less challenging. Give you a good idea what the bottlenecks are. Okay. So that looks good. So how am I going to learn it? So we've got two methods to answer how we'll learn something: benchmarking and emphasis/exclude methods. So let's learn about both of those. The way to start any learning project is by finding. And let me update the subject structure, and then say add some more to this. So we're gonna go to Google Drive. I'm gonna go to the CCNP data center. We're just gonna say notes. We'll just say ultra learning notes. Notes from ultra learning. And then we're going to say this is an intrinsic, or this is an instrumental project. And then we'll say, okay, so by finding what people on skills, maybe something that's taught is I'll look at curricula, use it. Yeah. So this is benchmarking. What's the difference between benchmarking? Much fun you can. I find this easier to do. Yes, okay. It's probably better to close your benchmark. So we're gonna, yeah, I think we're gonna do benchmarking. Don't align with your goals. No, we can't do that. So this would be if if your goal was you have a job coming up and it's going to be working in storage and it's not going to have much to do with security, what you could do is you could just target particular sections of this book and just practice those. But my goal is to pass the test that the book is based on, so I have to know every aspect of it. How much planning should you do? Looks good. Procrastinating, 10% rule. You should invest 10% of your total expected learning time into research. So 10%, about 4 hours per week, 100 hours. So okay, so just you spend 10 hours or 2 weeks doing your research. Okay. Okay, so it's okay to have this research video here. I'm still on track. Okay, short term, long term. So this is a short term project for sure. I'll write that down. Long term mental learning. Where's me? Okay, looks good. Okay, so now that takes us to principle 1. So principle 1, we'll write that down. Okay, and then we'll take these 2 notes here. Okay, and then principle 1 was what? I think principle 1 was meta learning. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so yeah, so it should take about the planning phase part of meta learning. You should allocate about 10% of your expected study time to that. I don't know what my expected study time will be. Let's try to figure that out. So, what is the average amount of study time someone who passes the CCNP data center exam will need?
The amount of study time needed to pass the CCNP data center exam can vary widely depending on several factors. Prior knowledge and experience. If you have prior experience with Cisco technologies or data center technologies in general, you might require less study time.
Okay, so on average, candidates typically spend several weeks to a few months. Okay, so that's actually not bad to prepare for both of the exams. So remember, I have to take two exams. So 2 to 3 months of dedicated study. Yeah. Oh, you know what? This is kind of a hallucination here. It's actually saying that casual study will take 6 months or longer. Moderate will take so 3 months. I'd say would be the minimum amount of time that this will take me. Let's put down that 3 months is the minimum time it might take me to pass both exams. Because remember, these are often tied to things like boot camps, college programs. So this isn't a small thing that I'm doing here. So it might take 3 months. Okay, great answer. Thank you. So now for each of those intensive study, moderate study, and casual study, break down don't break it down. Just don't break it down. Just give me an estimate of the total amount of hours spent. And honestly, just don't even do it for each of those. Like just tell me, in a matter of hours, like what is the average number of hours that somebody who passes the CCNP data center exam spends studying for it. 200 to 300
on average,
hours.
Candidates who successfully pass the CCNP data center exam typically spend anywhere from 200 to 300 hours studying. This includes reading study materials, attending courses or watching videos, practicing with labs and simulations, taking practice exams, and reviewing difficult topics. This range accommodates different study bases and levels of prior knowledge or experience with the exam content.
Okay, so yeah, this is part of meta learning. This is really good. So let's just say, so my estimate will be, my estimates, taking exam, take exam around, so I'm going to estimate 3 months. So 7 to 8 is 1 month. 8 to 9 is 2 months. 9 to 10 is 3 months. So I will estimate finish taking both exams in October. Finish my second exam in October. So then about halfway through, finish my first exam. Oops, and the formatting's weird. Finish my first exam in, about halfway. So it'll be mid-August. Man, that seems ambitious. And then we're going to say spend 3 hours studying. Okay, so how many days are there from June 29th, 2024? And let's just say how many days are there from July 1st, 2024 to August 1st, 2024? Let's say that, please.
Sure, I can calculate the number of days between July 1st, 2024 and August 1st, 2024 for you.
Okay, so about 30 days. So let's do so how many hours per day is that if there are 32 days and there are 150 hours and you want to sorry, I can do this myself. Okay, so hours per day 150 divided
No
by
problem. Let's
32.
calculate the average number of hours per day. Average hours per day equals total hours number of days equals.
All right, so that's not going to work. That would be 4.6 hours a day. So if we expand that out, um, hey, sorry, I apologize. So like, how many days are between July 1st and October 1st?
To find the number of days between July 1st and October 1st, we got each month. July has 31.
93. Okay, so there's 93 days between the two, and I'm assuming it'll take me 300 hours. So hours per day. So that's 3 hours per day. Man, that's a lot of hours per day. I don't think I can do that. I'm good for like an hour a day. Oh man. Man, that's a lot. And honestly, we can see the breakdown of how long it took me just simply to read another technical book, and that's all I did was read it. I didn't do any handouts on exercises or anything like that, and the breakdown is right here. It took me about 50 hours, and it took me a span of this many days. So it averaged out to I spent about an hour a day for 2 months just simply to read the book. So that's not so bad. So let's try to plan for that. So an hour a day for 2 months. So it would be 50 hours about to finish the book. So we'll put that. So to finish each book, it'll be 50 hours. Finish reading each book. So 100 hours spent reading. Hours total spent reading. And then what else we got here? So that means there's going to be more hours for like hands-on exercises or whatever else. Oh man, this is rough. Yeah, so it took me 2 months to do that. So it's going to be 4 months. Hour per day is my realistic daily max for studying. I need at least 4 months. I need at least 4 months just to read. Oh man, that's rough. Okay. All right. So assuming it takes me 300 hours to pass, have another 200 hours. The extra 200 hours at a rate of 1 hour per day would be an extra 200 days. Man, that would be another like 6 months. Uh, man, this is rough. Oh, this is really rough. Okay. So let's assume. Oh, man. I'm sorry. This is just really rough. Uh, okay. Oh, this is not going to be good. Shoot. Okay, so assuming it takes 300 hours, passing in less than 6 months is unlikely. The other thing that is important to note is my CCNP will expire, or my CCNA will expire in 2025. It may expire before passing the CCNP, but it's important to know that a valid CCNA is no longer a prerequisite to earning a CCNP. So that's good. Okay, so yeah. It's not gonna be fun. So it might be safe to assume 150 hours. But let's take a look at the total number of pages of this book compared to the total number of pages of the other book. So if we look down here, we can see this book has 2,453 pages, and we can see that the other book has 500 pages. Wow. Okay, so it's 5 times the length. So the book that took me 50 hours to read was 5 times shorter than one of the CCNP data center books. Wow. Oh, this is a nightmare. It is more likely that, therefore, it is more likely that reading one CCNP data center book will take me 250 hours to complete. To read both will take 500 hours, and an hour per day. So assuming that there are 30 days in a month, which is not a fair assumption to make, it'll take me 16 months to do 1 hour a day. And it's more like 77. It'll take me at least. Let's just to finish reading. What? Okay, this is a problem. This is a big problem. Shoot. Oh, this is a big problem. So what is the reading rate? What is the reading rate of reading out loud versus reading not out loud in your head?
The reading rate, whether reading loud or silently, can vary depending on individual preferences and abilities. Here are some general considerations. Reading loud. Speed. Reading loud is typically slower than reading silently because it involves articulating each word and processing it audibly. Comprehension. Some people find reading loud enhances comprehension as it engages both auditory and visual processing. Use cases. Reading loud is commonly used in situations where others need to hear the information, e.g., presentations, teaching. Reading silently, in your head, speed. Silent reading is generally faster than reading loud because there's no need to vocalize each word. Comprehension. Many find
Okay, so here's the short answer. Reading out loud tends to be 150 to 20, 200. So it's possible for reading silently to cut the time in half, but it's not likely. It's possible, but not likely for reading silently to cut reading time in half. In half, so that would mean 250 hours. Total hours for reading. 1 hour per day is so 250 divided by 30, roughly 8 months. 2 hours per day is 4 months. And then, so yeah. So 1 hour per day. So that would be 250 divided by 30. So we can do it up to there. 4 months, yeah, and then do it up to 90. So 250 divided by 90. So about 3 months. Okay, so the benefit from doing 1 hour per day for 2 hours a day is not exponential. So I feel like 2 hours a day is a good target. I feel like 2 hours per day is a great target. Especially if I err on the side of reading too much. Yeah, so that 4 months, 4 months is a decent reading is a decent goal. 3 months is a fair target to pass one exam. Okay, so cool. It's just not a fair target to pass both, but I think one is significantly easier than the other, so I shouldn't have to worry so much about the automation one because I already work in automation, so I'm sure I presumably know everything, and then it's just a meant to be a less rigorous exam. All right, so yeah, let's exam. So we're gonna write down the so this is for the decor, so I'll change the order of this, and then the exam target date. Oops. Yeah. So 350 dash 601 exam target date. will be 10 on 2024. Assumptions. Reading died 2 hours per day on average. And then reading OCG is enough to pass, assuming trivial time spent making Anki cards and labbing is trivial, which is not a fair assumption to make. I am qualified to take the exam, which might be a little bit of a big assumption. Okay, so there we go. I think that's it for this video. We did the meta learning section. We've got what the author suggested. I did some meta learning here about the exam. So I learned that this is an instrumental project. It's meant to be a short-term project. At minimum, it will take me 3 months to pass both exams. But realistically, it might be more like 6 months. So is more realistic. Okay. Okay, so then my estimates are that I can finish the second exam in October, but that's not a good one, so I'll cross that one out. Which is strike through is like not one that they have there. Finish my no, I'll strike that one out. That's not a fair assumption. So I can do Alt Shift 5. That's not a fair assumption either, because it's that one book is 5 times longer. Not a fair assumption. Hour per day is my. I could probably do more than this. Realistically, can probably do 2 hours. I need at least 4 months just to read. Yeah, that's probably fair. Assuming it takes 3 hours, another 2 hours. That's not a fair assumption because of what we saw there. 3 hours. Yeah, that's a fair assumption. That's a fair assumption. That's fair. Book took me 50 hours to read. Yeah, that's true. Therefore, it is more likely that reading one 60 days late to read both will take just to finish reading. It's possible, not likely, that reading style will cut reading time in half. Yeah, so this is my target date, and I'm assuming that I can read it 2 hours a day, that it should be enough to pass, that if I spend extra time on Anki cards and labbing, it won't significantly delay the test date, and that I'm qualified to take the exam. And then another so meta learning should have I should devote some. Yeah, so okay. All right, so I think that's it for this video. I'll create a yeah. So for principle 2, I'll get that ready. So principle 2 is focus. Okay, and then I'll work on that in another video. So I'll make this into a header. That should header style 2 is what's collapsible. I thought header style 2 was collapsible. Looks like it's not. No, it's not. Okay. No. I'm trying to make collapsible headers, but it's not working. All right, so I'll just bold this, and then I'll bold this. And when I come back, and I might, if I have to spend 2 hours a day, I want to get this reading silently advantage. It could be as good as cutting my reading time in half. So I really want to get that. So I think what I might be doing for this series is just some check-in videos from time to time, because number one, the book copyright clearly states what is fair use. So it clearly states what you can do. No part of this book may be reproduced or transmitted in any form or by any means, except for the inclusion of brief quotations in a review, which is what I did in this video, and which is what I'll do in future videos in the series. So that pretty much, disqualifies me from reading the whole book front to back, word by word. So I'm not going to do that for this series. I'll just check in from time to time. Now, I do notice that the book is 4 years out of date. I hope that's not a problem. So yeah, we'll see what happens. It'll be an exciting series for sure. I'll do regular check-ins hopefully, and yeah. So lots to come. Stay tuned. This is one of the more exciting series because if it goes right, I'll be really well positioned to be the benefactor of this AI multi-trillion-dollar industry that is coming in the next few years.